everyone, and welcome back. It is Dr. aka edu_curlz here, also known as Nia, and today we're just gonna chat. We are gonna chat because I am getting ready to do some stuff with oil, but I also wanted us to chat and talk about like the health of hair. So that's what we're gonna do today. First off, if you're new, welcome. My name is Nia. I do a lot of content on curly content, but also skin. And as of late, I have been doing a little bit more of like health and fitness, which I'm going to bring another video to you guys later today about that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do here on my YouTube channel. I actually started in college and undergrad, and that really took off, and I had a lot of fun. And that was back when the natural hair movement was like really booming. Then I took a small break as I like focused on my professional career, and then relaunched in the pandemic because like natural hair and curly hair is one of the things that I do really, really love. And I love sharing like the knowledge and expertise and like having those conversations with folks as they're working to take care of their natural hair and maintain their natural hair. So that's what kind of birthed this channel. So let's get into our content for today. First of all, this is going to be super, super informal. I want to name that and frame that coming up front because I am going to be oiling my scalp since I just got back from a very long trip to moisturize, and I'm getting ready to like shampoo my hair. And so that's what you're going to see me do on screen as we chat and talk about maintaining the health of your curly hair. So let's get into it. All right. First of all, you're probably wondering what's on my face. I am doing a face mask. I actually just got back from Belize, maybe 3 days ago, which was a really, really great trip. But whenever I come back from a trip, especially in a country like Belize where it's really hot, I have to spend like that next day or 2 days later or whatever, really deep conditioning my hair and then grounding my skin. And so I am doing a face mask. I use the Fenty's Cookies and Clean. The Fenty Cookies and Clean mask, and that's what's on my face currently. So that's why I look like a Smurf right now, or a gray Smurf. But yeah, so that's kind of what's there. We are starting with oil, like I said, also because I just got back from Belize, and a lot of what I experienced in Belize was seawater, so salt water, and that, while it makes my hair really defined, it also really, really changes my hair. And so I really needed to come back and like, you know, steam and care for my hair. And so that's what we're doing today. Before I left for Belize, I actually did a trim. I find that there are certain things to definitely be mindful with your curly hair as it starts to get longer, and that I'm currently trying to work through in the best way that I know how. So I'll start with kind of how my hair has changed. As you guys know, when I started this channel back, I had shaved sides, and that is not the case anymore. My hair has grown a crap ton. When I stretch it, it's armpit length, and so it's pretty long. Maybe 2 weeks before I went to Belize, I actually did a trim because I find that my hair knots in itself a lot, and so the trimming really helps keep that at bay. So I did start instituting like hair trimming every 6 weeks. And so I've put that into my calendar because when I twist and trim, I just get better hair in general. Like styling is easier, maintenance is easier. I have less shedding, etc. So that's kind of like one of the really big things that I've started redoing or reinstituting into my routine is how often I trim my hair, and just truly trim, like dusting, not cutting out a ton of hair, because it's so important to keep the split ends at bay. And my hair knots in itself a lot, and some of that is because of like my workout routine. Some of the knotting also happens because I've stopped washing and going twice a week. I used to wash and go 2 times a week, and now I really just try to do once a week, and then I do a midweek refresher with my Camille Rose, and that just really works for me. And so that's kind of how I've been, you know, keeping that. The other thing that happens in your hair routine at different stages is as a woman, I will say, like your hormones and the things that you put in your body can affect your hair. So most of you guys know I've recently been on like a weight loss journey that has actually changed like the way I eat a little bit more. And I've actually found that my hair grew really fast, or has grown much faster, when I have been more focused on the water intake and the food intake, and that has been really good for me. And so that's definitely a benefit of, you know, changing lifestyle that has affected the health and like the maintenance of my hair. So that's a huge win, like something definitely to celebrate about my natural hair. So trimming, as I said, food consumption has been a really big thing. The other thing is like figuring out the routine that works best for your lifestyle, I think is really, really important. I do work from home most times, but this past year, my role kind of shifted at my current job and expanded a bit more as we are like now going through another restructure in our organization. And that has actually made like my work from home not really a work from home as much. And so I've had to come up with like other ways to be able to maintain my hair, because it used to be that I could do a quick wash and go in the middle of the day because my meeting didn't start until a certain time while I was working from home. And I didn't have to, you know, make up for like commute to a school. And so now when I do have to go to a school, I do have to do that. And so I've kind of taken that element out of my routine by changing, like not doing a midweek one, which isn't necessarily bad for me. I think my hair likes water. And so if I can refresh with water midweek and then reapply, my hair kind of generally does okay. With that, what I do need to figure out in this next season is like how swimming impacts, because chlorine does very different things to my hair. Or I need to figure out the best way to like keep my hair clipped up when swimming, etc., because that can be a real challenge for my hair for sure. Like chlorine is really difficult for my hair overall, but I do really, really like I like swimming, and so that's kind of like, you know, a challenge, but a good one. So we'll see how that goes. So definitely, you know, studying your hair and figuring out your routine is another tip that I will just have. Like if you haven't codified your routine, make sure you are. I am like an avid every Saturday deep condition my hair type of person, unless I'm, you know, traveling for whatever reason or things like that. But I do try to make sure that it's a once a week type of routine, because my hair really does need to be replenished in that way. And then I try to do the same thing with steaming, so that I have so that my hair can absorb the nutrients of the products, because it definitely absorbs them better in heat. But two, also to just like, you know, rebalance my hair and give it back its zhuzh. So I would say what we talked about thus far has definitely been like trimming, your routine, the foods that you consume to maintain like the health of your hair. There's also tools to really think about. I used to not use a brush. I do use a brush currently, and I use one of those like Tangle Teaser flathead brushes. I think for me, I wasn't always getting all the tangle out, and so I was finding a lot more shed hair intertwined with my other hair, and so that's been really, really important to go through. The other thing that I don't typically do, but I have been doing more recently, is oiling my scalp, like you see me doing with the cocoa nibs right now, and just really working it into my hair prior to shampooing, and actually releasing like a lot of the shed hair in that process, because I'm working through the hair and applying it and then like scrubbing into my scalp and stimulating. And so that's a different, you know, a really different bucket, but something that is like a really big part of my routine. And then the other thing is thinking about like hair tools, right? So I do make sure that I use hair scissors when I'm cutting my hair. I also make sure that like the things are not dull, because that can also cause more split. It's also thinking about like I really use satin scrunchies pretty heavily in my hair. When I work out, I tie my hair up. I try not to wear it down as often as possible. Just like things to really change about your overall routine is thinking about that. And then like I've started, you know, it's summer, so I have a little bit more fun with my hair in the summer. I am gonna 2-strand twist my hair a little bit more this summer than I did last summer through the week. And focus, I really want to get good at twist out, so I'm going to spend a little bit more time in that lane this summer, and just like explore what that can look like. I'm also going to try to do blown out twists and braids. One, because I think that's going to be the style that I do for graduation. I did do a braid out on blown out dry hair that I loved, and I would like to mimic that for my hair when I graduate. And so there's certain things that, you know, you just got to figure out for yourself, and work on for sure around tools and routines, etc. So the other thing that I've done that like has helped maintain the health of my hair is limit the heat that I've done. I don't really use heat. I don't spend a ton of time straightening. The only time that I really use heat is when I'm doing a blown out style nowadays, but it's always going to be a blown out, like braid out or twist out type of structure. It just doesn't work well for me. And because of my workout routine, my hair reverts a lot. So I probably will keep straightening it at a minimum to like every few years. I haven't straightened it in this last, I think almost year now. And that doesn't bother me at all. So that's kind of where those things have been at. But detangling is always the stress part for me with like maintaining my hair. Like I said, my hair knots in itself a lot, and so you'll see like I'm working through and I'll catch something, and that is definitely a reality when you have really tightly curly hair. So it's something to just make sure you have a routine for, and that you're able to like manage for yourself. But yeah, I think those are the main things. It's like your routine, your tools, the foods that you take in, as well as like the water intake that you have, how often you trim, because that's a really big piece of it with maintenance. And then like, you know, are you using satin? Are you using, like, what are you using in your hair to tie your hair back? I recently got the foam-ish like hair ties, and I love those. I wish someone would have pointed me to those a long time ago, so I got rid of my other hair ties. I just kind of stopped using certain things that were tugging at my hair, pulling at my hair in a different way. And you just have to make those switches for your hair, for the health of your hair, for the benefit of your hair. And so once you do that, you have a generally successful, you know, natural hair state for sure. And then once you figure out like, you know, what your hair needs routine-wise, it's pretty easy. But those are like the parts that you got to spend time doing. You got to spend time investigating for your hair, and figuring out about your hair, because that is like make it or break it, you know, for your curls for sure. So yeah. That is really it, y'all. I'm going to continue to detangle my hair and apply my oil. I hope everyone has a blessed rest of the day. And make sure you check out some of my other videos. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.